What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Re-Edit. I'm your host, Joanny G, and for today's episode, we're going to be doing an Inception edit. Now, if y'all know Inception, if y'all know Christopher Nolan in general, he is the director of Inception. Inception's a really, really cool movie. I highly suggest you watch it. I feel like everybody should watch either Inception or Interstellar. Those are like my top two Nolan films. If you've watched Inception, you are probably familiar with the scene where these two characters, they are fighting, but the room is also like moving, like it's a square box, it's moving, but they're still fighting. They're just like walking on the walls, walking on the ceiling. It's actually very cool, very cool. Unfortunately, I do not have the apparatus to make that happen, but I have an edit that'll make it somewhat similar. So if you've ever watched Ariana Grande's music video in No Tears Left to Cry, there's a scene at the end of the video where she's in a park and she's playing fetch with her dog, but they're on two different planes. Ariana Grande is on this plane, her dog is on this plane, and she manages to play fetch with her dog. Basically, I'm gonna be doing that today. And when I tell you, it took me, I woke up at 8:30 in the morning. I started working on it at 9, and I didn't fully get it until about 3 in the afternoon. I was just working from 9 to 3 straight just on this because I was determined to get it. I was about to cry. Before we get into the edit, I should mention that there are certain requirements and conditions when filming, when shooting for this effect. So requirements to make it work as best as possible. Choosing like a plain background. The whole ground must be visible. It's a lot better when the whole ground is visible. Shoot in a white area. The background or sky should be plain or just consistent. It's really hard to do this effect when there's inconsistencies in the background and the walls or anything like that. Try your best to make sure that there are little to no lighting changes. When you're doing it outside, lighting is just going to change inevitably because the sun is moving, the clouds and everything like that. But try to like shoot it quickly enough where like you're able to do it in consistent lighting. Or if the lighting changes, then just reshoot the whole thing in that same lighting. It's going to be a little bit challenging, but you know, that's what we're here to do. We're here to accept challenges, make mistakes, try new things. And yeah, so hopefully that made sense. I'll probably repeat it in the voiceover, but without further ado, let's just hop right into Premiere and get to editing. Hello. So I just wanted to show you guys what type of shot I got here. This is what I meant by having like the background being consistent. As you can see, it's really just trees and grass, and that's it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this clip and duplicate it, and then I'm going to rotate this duplication 90 degrees. And so I'm just going to play around with the positioning for a little bit and just see where I want it to fit. And then afterwards, under opacity, you're going to hit on the pen tool. It's an icon that looks just like a pen. And then I'm going to map out where I want the mask to show. So it was a little tricky because, you have to be like aware of the dimensions and stuff. But honestly, just play around with it. I chose this shape because, I'm trying to imagine it sort of like a box. So the way I sort of like remember to do it is like, think of like a trapezoid with the rectangle on top. And that should be like pretty good. So what I'm using right now is this strip of like light grass to sort of line up where I want the mask to be. And I'm basically just fixing that and making sure that it blends in. I'm gonna feather out the selection of the mask, and boom, there you go. You have a square world. And so what I'm gonna do next, I have a shot of me just standing in the sun, being cute. And I'm basically just going to put that on top and do the same thing that I just did. So I'm going to select that clip and head over to Effect Controls and rotate it 90 degrees because I want myself to stand on the y-axis, not the x-axis. And for this, I'm going to draw a mask, but it's just going to be around me, which is the subject. So I drew a little rectangle there, or, attempted to draw a rectangle. And I'm basically just going to move myself onto the y-axis and sort of like blend in with like the shadows and where the light hits and everything like that. I'm gonna try my best to blend it out. There is a tool under the opacity tool after you make the mask. It is feathering, so I highly suggest feathering your masks. And so that's what that looks like. So basically I took it a step further and just added another me on there onto the y-axis. And it's just me walking back and forth. And so I'm basically doing the exact same thing, except this one was a little more tricky because I'm walking back and forth, I have to map out how far I'm walking to each side so that I don't cut out when I do the mask. After all the crying and frustration, this was actually very simple to do. It's honestly truly not that hard, and you get a dope effect out of it. So yeah, I will show you guys the final results of what I got. Well, that's it for today's edit. I am so glad I did this. I know that I say that after like every single edit I do, but it's actually just so like refreshing. I don't know, it just feeds my creative spirit. Like I just love doing this. I love like having a challenge and then just completing it. Like just adding something to your portfolio is just amazing. But thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to UNF Spinnaker TV on YouTube. And please head over to Instagram and follow me on my social media account at joe.chella. And please be sure to head over and follow UNF Spinnaker TV at UNF Spinnaker TV. And with that, that is the end of this episode. I will see you all next week.